Esports Mobile Game of the Year. It was important this year to distinguish mobile esports in order to recognize its continued growth and success. The Esports Mobile Game of the Year award honors a title that has pushed the world of mobile esports forward. Esports Mobile Player of the Year. The Esports Mobile Player of the Year award recognizes a competitor who competed in mobile titles over the past year at the top level. The award is judged on merit of both honors won throughout the year and skill cap of the individual. Esports Collegiate Award. The Esports Collegiate Award will honor a group or person who has significantly contributed to the world of grassroots and collegiate esports, honoring the groups, orgs, brands, and individuals building the pathway to pro. The Esports Content Team of the Year honors a team focused on outputting best-in-class and standout content in the world of esports. The content can take any form, from video and the likes of docuseries, behind the scenes and visual effects, to written biographies and blogs, as well as social media campaigns. Esports Content Series of the Year. Esports Content Series of the Year honors a series that significantly raised the bar for esports content over the past year. From behind-the-scenes documentaries to in-depth dissections of in-game action, the esports world has seen its fair share of incredible content. Esports Caster of the Year. Play-by-play. Whether they have called moments that have been immortalized forever with their words, or have had a consistent year of high-quality broadcasting, this person will be at the very top of the game. Esports Caster of the Year, Color. The Esports Caster of the Year for color casters honors the caster who has provided some of the most memorable analysis and calls in-game. The caster will have a knack for storytelling, intertwined with statistics and analysis that add depth and meaning to the events happening in-game. Esports Analyst of the Year. Esports Analyst of the Year honors on or off-screen analysts that break down the action and preview the upcoming games along with the event host. While some are masters of analyzing the key moments, others have put in the research to look forward at what will happen and why, as well as the stats to back it up. To find out more about all of our new awards, head on over to esportsawards.com.
Sometimes you just need a little wonderful in your life. So why not go to a place made for it? Arlington, Texas. It's a city made for fun and excitement and all the things you love to do. And even some things you didn't know you loved until you came here and found them. Come see for yourself why Arlington is a world of wonderful.
Joining the Esports Awards panel are Peter Letts, a leading agent for CAA, joins the panel with his unique knowledge and insight of the esports industry. Enrique Palomino. With over a decade of experience casting and streaming StarCraft 2, Enrique Palomino brings his expert knowledge of RTS esports to the panel. Matt Rutledge. The director of mobile gaming at Complexity, Matt Rutledge, joins the panel. As a mobile esports pioneer, Matt brings a lot of experience and insight to the table. Eunice Chen has a true esports pedigree and brings to the panel her experience of working with some of the biggest brands and organizations inside the industry, such as Riot and Cloud9. Phil Visu. Phil Visu has 3 years of experience commentating on some of the largest esports events in the calendar. An expert in Wii U, Brawl, and NBA games, Phil brings with him a wealth of knowledge to the Esports Awards panel. Nicholas Estrup, Director of Product and Experience for Blast. Nicholas Estrup brings his wealth of esports experience, especially in the fields of hosting and producing, to the Esports Awards panel. Skylar Johnson. Skylar Johnson, ex-pro, entrepreneur, and founder of Team Envy, Skylar brings to the panel his insights in competing and management. Brittany Johnson. G2 head of creators, movie actress, and voice actor, Brittany Johnson brings to the table her wealth of esports knowledge and experience. Robert Paul. Robert Paul, a photographer famous for covering events around the world and working with the likes of MLG, Twitch, and Blizzard, brings his abundance of creative skill and knowledge. Hudson Weiler. Esports entrepreneur and founder of eBeats, Hudson Weiler offers the panel his knowledge of the industry side of esports. Mario Prosperino, famous supporter of photographers and videographers inside the esports industry, Mario Prosperino's creative knowledge is a valuable addition to the Esports Awards panel.
Sometimes you just need a little wonderful in your life. So why not go to a place made for it? Arlington, Texas. It's a city made for fun and excitement and all the things you love to do. And even some things you didn't know you loved until you came here and found them. Come see for yourself why Arlington is a world of wonderful.
And the finalists are...
We recognise those individuals. I got the envelope.
And the winner is...
And the winner is...
And the winner is...
And the Esports Award goes to...
Go to Fortnite!
We're at the tippity top of the mountain, but we're really only halfway up.
Hello and welcome to the second Esports Awards Spotlight Show of the 2020 campaign. I'm Gabriella La Tigers Devia Allen, and I could not be more stoked to be hosting my first Spotlight Show. And here as my co-host for the day, it is veteran Smite royalty and now overall esports aficionado, Tom F. Battinger.
Thank you so much, Gabby. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Esports Awards, always one of my favorite times of the year. Shout out to the Smite fam. That said, 2020 is a wide new world. I'm getting involved with all sorts of esports, and that's why it's even more fun to be here on the Esports Awards show. So let's roll with it.
And we are all about the fun here today because the award campaign is heating up and we're unveiling our first set of finalists for 2020. After all, we are in our 5th year of the Esports Awards and our first anniversary at that. So, over the coming months, we'll continue to bring you down nostalgia lane as we visit our previous winners, some of our favorite moments, and keeping an eye firmly fixed on all of our 2020 finalists. You in the esports community have nominated in the hundreds of thousands to date, and you still have some time left to do so for categories such as industry, creative, pro, and on air talent awards, linked in the description for yourself. Now, remember, the community nominations have been closed, though.
That said, that's the coolest part of Esports Awards for me personally. When we talk about this show, there's always a conversation about the people watching versus the people on. When it comes to the Esports Awards, everyone's involved. Hundreds of thousands of nominees, and that comes from everybody out there in chat. Everybody watching the streamers, everybody watching the videos. That's who nominates these people. But then the Esports Awards have this rigorous application process that the judges go through. Esteemed veterans of the industry. So a little bit of both sides of the coin. I think that's what makes the Esports Awards so special.
Everyone, all that work that has been put on throughout this nomination process, there's so much to look forward to. And I don't mean to steal anyone's thunder. I saw Puckett do it last time around, so I'm going to give it a shot. Let's get the show started. Roll the intro.
Shine like gold. Shine like gold. Shine like gold.
Coming up on tonight's show, we recap the launch of 2 brand new creative awards. We announce the finalists for the Community Awards 2020. We have a special announcement alongside eFuse. Now, before we get into the shenanigans of the day, Efta, I got to hit you up because it's been so long since we've seen each other. While this is still only in a virtual context, what have you been up to lately?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. No, I mean, 2020 has been interesting. It's the year that I decided to go full freelance, so I'm, jumping around from Valorant cast. Shout out to the guys at Giant Slayer, doing all sorts of games as well. Rocket League has been a big deal for me, taking over the Rival series at the beginning of the year. So I've been having a lot of fun kind of seeing the wider world of esports. Always had, but now in a bigger lens. You're crushing it, though. I mean, you're doing League and other stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm back over in the LCS. As you know, watching the LCS and the LEC or NA and EU LCS back in the day is kind of what got me into esports. So it's been very exciting to be a part of that broadcast team regularly. And then being freelance myself, still getting to work on other things, Twitch Rivals and all of that. But as you know, when you go freelance, you just get this lens on the entirety of esports. Is there anything that you have learned since going freelance or that has surprised you since expanding from the Smite and Paladin scenes?
Not particularly, I always saw myself, whether the rest of the world did, I always saw myself like, listen, I'm an esports fan. That's why I got into the industry. I'm already watching all these streams and all these tournaments and everything. And, I'm lucky enough to have a couple of friends around, I tune into Apex, bam, there's Rain Day. Like that's what we do. You and I have always done that. So now full freelance, I guess it's just a bigger view, but esports is dope. And I do dope stuff, so.
And making so many friends along the way. As you said, 2020 is kind of a strange year to go into freelance in the sense that not only are you diving into these scenes for the first time, but also having to deal with quarantine. Are there any activities you have been using to pass the time now that you're stuck indoors?
I play video games all day, every day. now I have an excuse. Listen, you know, as a kid, I'd be like, oh, is it raining outside? Nice. Mom can't tell me to go outside. I'm going to, you know, play StarCraft all day. Dude, I mean, I'm down. So realistically, yeah, I miss going out to the bar and going out to see friends, sure. But, you know, my friends are on Discord and my hangouts are in Dalaran and my squad is playing with me in Valorant. You know what I mean? So like, that's one of the cool things that I think esports has brought is that like, yeah, some of the world has changed. I'm not flying to California to do Rocket League, but all my homies and all my things are kind of here. So yeah, it's nuts, but I know that I've got my fam.
It's almost like we gamers were trained to be able to entertain ourselves when stuck indoors. Who would have thought, right?
Not me.
All right, sadly, we don't get to work together day to day anymore, but we do get to reunite once more for the Esports Awards. For anybody that tuned in to the last show in May, you may have heard that we announced our new awards to much fanfare, and we're already excited at the new opportunities to advocate for those deserving. However, the community felt strongly and let us know that we may have missed a couple on the list, and you did not wait to tell us. A global Twitter campaign with all of the creatives in the industry uniting to ensure that all creatives were recognized here at the Esports Awards. And so, we set a challenge. The community were given the chance to vote on 2 new awards, with a pretty high majority needed to send them over the line. 75% of you had to agree to introducing the awards included. Incredibly, 95% ended up voting in favor, and true to our word, we are delivering. Brand new for 2020 are Esports Creative/Creative Team of the Year Award and Esports Creative Piece of the Year Award. So, let's take a look at those 2 awards.
Esports Creative Team of the Year. The Esports Creative Team of the Year Award honors those that build the perception of brands, live streams, tournaments, and content. The winner significantly raises the bar, creating trends and defining campaigns across the industry, as well as inspiring new ways of engaging the audience. Esports Creative Piece of the Year. The Esports Creative Piece of the Year recognizes an exemplary piece of esports content that engages and typifies what excellence in esports truly means. This content piece can range from social media campaigns, tournament or event promotional campaigns, stage design, broadcast assets, sound production, advertising campaigns, and digital branding.
2 fantastic awards that you and the community demanded. And now it's time for your voices to be heard once again. Make sure you make your nominations over at esportsawards.com/nominate. Now, F. What do you make of these new awards?
Straight up, I mean, I'm happy to see everybody kind of standing up and saying that they wanted to see this, because these categories are built for me. I'm the art nerd. I went to art school, right? And so when we look at creative piece, you know, I want long form journalism. I want the soft focus esports documentary. Shouts to the homie Bart. Like, that's what I kind of want to see. I want to sit here for 45 minutes and go, about the shot selection, you know? And then when we talk about the previous one, the esports team, that's for the insiders. Like, you and I watch esports as fans for sure, cheering on our favorite team, go SK. But like, realistically, I'm looking at lower thirds, I'm looking at graphics packages, I'm looking at camera transitions, because we're nerds and this is what we do all day. So this is an industry side sort of category, and I'm glad, because we all talk about it, so why not throw a trophy at it?
Yeah, the more you watch esports, the more you recognize these little details. And there's a part of me that's looking back at my master's thesis documentary on esports and thinking, can I say this was from 2020 and have it go through? And then I remember there was no budget and there were a lot of academic restrictions. And I say, never mind, I will leave that to the pros. But real talk, there are a lot of great pieces out there, whether in long form or video format. And the thing is, we wouldn't even have this award if it weren't for the fact that the community was pushing it forward. So what does that say about the Esports Award and the experience that the community has a voice that is then heard?
I mean, that's the biggest deal here, you know, esports specifically. I mean, look at the world now. We are an empathetic civilization. We are all connected to each other. I mean, they changed the Sonic movie because y'all were loud enough on Twitter, right?
Oh, true.
That's what we're getting to hear. People have a voice, and now it's finally being heard. So, like, obviously, we're seeing huge implications of that across the world. But even here in esports, get what you want to see on your screen. And it's always been about the community in gaming. So this is a 1-2 punch for me. I'm here for it. I started in the community. I'm here for it. This is dope.
With all of that being said, in the end, the world continues to be an ever-changing landscape, and we will stand globally united in trying to defeat the biggest challenge we have faced in recent history. At present, our industry has shown its resoluteness to adapting to the guidelines being put in place. Our esteemed panel of judges have decided that at the present, it's just not right to adjudicate on an esports live event for the year, being that all that is going on in the world. However, we are working hard behind the scenes to bring you an exciting update in the next month's show and hopefully deliver something special for all of the events that have adapted to the online formats. Now, Efta, I know you have been watching a lot of the events as we ensue and push through this time. Do you think the call to remove this as a category for the time being is the right call?
I mean, absolutely. No questions asked. The folks at Esports Awards made the right call here. Like you said, shout outs to everybody that made the transition. We started RLCS season 9. We were halfway through the season. We ended the last week of February where we transitioned online, right? And I mean, shout outs to everybody involved with that one, because I was there watching everybody in a week's time go, okay, no longer in this Hollywood studio, lights, camera, action, now from home, go. And it worked, and other people did as well. Listen, I'm sure we'd all like to be out there and celebrating on land and stuff, but it's not really, it's just not the right call. We have the luxury of doing what we're doing. So, I mentioned Rocket League, but you're seeing all sorts of esports around make this transition and doing it well, especially, with a couple of weeks, months under their belt. So was it the right call? I mean, there's no question.
And I think the crazy thing is, in that transitional period, there was a moment where maybe some of us weren't sure if we were going to be getting back on the broadcast. I recall I actually fly down to LA each week for the LCS as I'm in Northern California. And I remember being in the hotel room, seeing that we had to postpone and cancel that week of the LCS, and then turning to the staff that I see all the time as the hotel I would frequent every weekend and saying, hey, I don't know the next time I'm going to see you guys. I hope you stay safe. And of course, I still haven't seen them, but it's a time where we were all happy when things came back together. So when it comes to these competitions that are still continuing to push through and give us that hope when we were able to convert to the online format, what do you make of everyone in the effort that they've been putting to ensure we continue with this type of entertainment?
I mean, it's awesome. Like I said, shout outs to the teams that are out there doing it, because, and let me tell you this right now, broadcasting online versus offline are two different worlds. It's like singing jazz music and metal. You're both singers, but you're doing two very different things. And so to watch everybody change equipment and people and strategy and broadcast, and just like I said, like that's been dummy impressive. And watching esports also, for a long time, people were like, oh, trad sports, esports is trying to like make their way into the conversation. Now the turntables, baby, and we've got like traditional sports people coming to Twitch. I mean, look at what F1 has done with their content package on broadcast platforms, and then putting themselves on Twitch, getting involved with people already on the platform like Sadakis, etc., and then also getting some of their drivers involved. And again, F1 is just one example of how, listen, the world's different. Humans, we change and adapt, and esports teams have been crushing it, and the liaisons between sports worlds and esports has been awesome. So, obviously, like you said, it's an ever-changing landscape, but fortune favors the brave, and we're out here on the front lines.
As esports continues to bridge the gap during this time of quarantine, are there any personal experiences that you've had in which others have come into this gaming world that you weren't expecting?
Absolutely. Listen, I'm a gamer. I'm from New York, and my homies aren't exactly gamers. Some of my homies they're just listen, we watch 106 in Park and hang out outside. Like, that's not what we're not out here playing Skyrim like you are. I was always, the odd man out there. And some of those people are now stuck inside, and they're like, what does a Tom do? Twitch, right? And these are people that have never played anything more than Madden, and now they're coming up to me like, yo, kick W, bro, lol. And I'm like, listen, man, I like my separate worlds, please, but everybody's getting involved. Everybody's jumping on Twitch, and like, I'll joke, but it's cool to see kind of everybody be like, yo, I get why you watch this. I get why you do this. That's awesome. Can I get a job? But it's fun kind of seeing worlds collide for sure.
Heck W, you're just speaking my language right there, F dot. But in the meantime, we are going to kick it to a short break. But when we return, we will unveil the finalists for the Community Awards. Don't go anywhere.
Shine like gold.
Sometimes you just need a little wonderful in your life. So why not go to a place made for it? Arlington, Texas. It's a city made for fun and excitement and all the things you love to do. And even some things you didn't know you loved until you came here and found them. Come see for yourself why Arlington is a world of wonderful.
Welcome back to the second Esports Awards Spotlight Show. Before we get into the action, we wanted to say a quick thank you to our sponsors for making this possible. Arlington.org, Scuff Gaming, Esports Stadium Arlington, The Koyo Store, Sizzle Creative, Touch of Ginger, Grind Gaming, and eFuse. And with all of that said, I think it's about time we took a look at the finalists. The esports community has been nominating, and the esports awards panel have made their decision. So let's dive straight into it with esports personality of the year. It's a big one to start off with, and the individuals nominated for this are raising the profile of esports all year round.
The finalists for Esports Personality of the Year, in association with Arlington.org, are Ocelot, Golden Boy, Nade Shot, Shocks, Dr. Lupo, Faker, Hex, Froskurin, Fallen.
Oh, what a list this is. F dot, all right. First impressions, it's settled in your brain. Who do you think the stellar personalities are, and when it comes to being who is the top in the world of esports?
Everyone on this list. I mean, that's why they're here, right? Real talk. Everybody here is a rock star. I mean, Nade Shot, Shocks, Fallen, they've won this before. So I mean, obviously everyone here is a rock star. I mean, looking across the board, I mean, obviously I'm gonna always shout out GB, but Carlos Ocelot, I think, has done really. He's just been real high profile this year. You see G2 everywhere, and right there is Ocelot. I think that's important for an org, and it's fun to see.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about these org owners between Ocelot and Nadeshaw always continuously involving themselves within the content as well as propelling it forward from a leadership perspective. You have some players on here as well as Faker. You've got personalities, casters, all of that. It's crazy to see. So my question to you is just, what does it take for someone to be recognized in this category, considering the diverse background of those that were nominated?
It says it right on the tin. esports personality of the year. You know, you can be a content creator that makes really dope content, or you can be a player with a really dope play. You know, you can be a caster that's excellent at bringing us in and out of the rounds. But who's the personality? You know, and that means everything from literally the personality of the person to how you know, universal they are. Like I said, you see Ocelot on Twitter all the time. Golden Boy is casting literally everything. Dr. Lupo out here just raising money all the time, right? These people are front and foremost in your mind when you think in esports, not for any particular thing that they do, maybe that brought us here, but just for them being them. And you know, I think that it's a lot of fun kind of looking at this category because of that.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing that some of them have kind of dabbled in multiple scenes overall, whereas others have specializations on this list. But it is ultimately kind of a people's champ type vibe,
well
right,
said.
for this award?
Yeah, well said. People's champ, I like that.
I like it too, F. Dot. And hey, I like you too, man. You know who else people liked? We had Nade Shot, Ninja, Shocks, Fallen, all walking away with previous awards from last year's. Do you think that will increase their chances of walking away with it again in the case that they're nominated, or are people looking for a new personality of the year?
I mean, personally, you know, it's interesting. If I ask myself that question, my answer is immediately yes, I want somebody different, but my immediate answer to that is no, it's year by year. If you are the premier esports guy, like, so with Golden Boy last year, right? I was like, dude, he's on TV, right? That's my vote. I'm looking at that. Next year, if he's still doing things like that, which he is, you know, then that's all fair and good. So, I mean, repeat performer versus new person, it's a new year every January. So that's how I feel.
For this category, we are past the nomination process. It's time for voting. So make sure you go to esportsawards.com to have your say on who will be your esports personality of the year. But it is time for us to move on to a new award for 2020, and that's the Esports Collegiate Award.
The finalists for the Esports Collegiate Award are NACE, NUEL, College Carball, Kevin Huang, Tespa, Tyrell Appleton, Maryville University of St. Louis, University of California at Irvine, Full Sail University.
It's amazing to see so many representatives of the college esports scene as it's continuing to evolve over the years. F. Dot, how do you feel collegiate esports plays into the path to pro?
I mean, it's huge. Speaking specifically about NA, but obviously Newell on the board, you know, it extends over to Europe. College, university, this is where you hit that intermediate level, really, above the star-studded rookie kind of grinding in the bedroom to some level of infrastructure before the pro world, right? We see it in traditional sports with the NBA and the NFL, how important that college atmosphere is. So why not look to that with respects to esports, and also open a new avenue for schools to kind of give their kids and their students a different area for extracurriculars as well. I mean, this is a dunk. I love seeing the college scene get involved.
It's very much a multifaceted approach, right? You have universities taking it on just full sail. Well, Full Sail University being one of them. University of California at Irvine being one of the first to form an esports organization on campus. Maryville, multiple championships for them. But then you have individuals like Kevin Huang, who have also been, since the start of his career, pretty much advocating for this. When it comes to trying to integrate esports into the mainstream, we already talked about how with the quarantine situation, there's been some of that bridging gap towards traditional esports. What does collegiate esports do for esports in general to bring it into the academic and traditional spaces?
I think and this might seem kind of like duh, but it gives people that are outside the world of esports an understanding, like a base level, right? listen, for you and I, we're nerds. We're going to sit on Twitch and we're going to see the streamers and we're going to see the Twitter feeds and we're going to see all these like up and comers kind of rise, and we'll tune into the experts. But for somebody that is traditional sports minded, traditional broadcast minded, they want to push 36 on their TV and watch sports show, right? That can be a little bit kind of cumbersome to navigate the world of all these different avenues of talent. So like, yeah, give me, there's the college stuff. I can watch this. Now I understand how players go from kids in their room to a stage. And I think people didn't really have that connection before. And now that they're able to kind of see that, it's just easier to digest.
So much has changed. I mean, I've been speaking to some of my alma maters who are building those collegiate programs that didn't exist when I was in school, and it's amazing to see in general, whether it be an individual making an impact or maybe a team from a university or an entire tournament put on. What are some of your favorite moments happening in the collegiate level of esports that you think are worth recognizing?
I mean, honestly, right here, the people nominated for the award. You know, I've been lucky enough to. I said I was doing some of the Rocket League stuff with Psionics, particularly. I also did some of the college Rocket League stuff. Shout out to College Carball, who's a secondary. Like, there are more than one college leagues out there for some of these games. I mean, Maryville University, that's run by Clarkey. You know, that's a dude that's in esports. Shouts to E United, right? And so that I think is important, because a couple of years ago, decades, there were people doing gaming at university, and it was kind of like not really a ship without a rudder, so to speak. Now you have people that have been in this industry for a number of years, kind of doubling down and bringing their expertise that ain't no textbook. You can't go take an esports class. You can, but you can't go take an esports class and learn how to run this stuff. You need real world experience. And that's where we're seeing, like you said, Kevin and Tyrell and the guys at Maryville and California at Irvine, and even Full Sail, who's kind of been that art school kind of promise for a lot of people. You know, it's the doubling down on the college atmosphere that I think is really impressive here.
Creating brand new opportunities for everyone in the space. And this is a brand new chance for all of you to vote, being that it's a new category. So make sure you go and do that at esportsawards.com. Now this year, the Esports Awards are teaming up for hashtag For the Gamers and eFuse to deliver Esports Awards for the Gamers Fund.
Faker, what was that? This is Rocket League!
Done that in the history of Dota!
Every great victory is a story, made up of a beginning, a middle, and an end. The Esports Awards are teaming up with eFuse to help tell more great stories. We're offering $10,000 for one lucky individual on the brink of greatness in esports. Your journey to making your mark on esports starts now. Whether you want to be a pro player, team manager, analyst, community leader, caster, or even a content creator, this fund is open to you, aspiring pro, and you, university applicant, even you, esports entrepreneur, definitely you, grassroots role model, also you, looking to build your first gaming PC. Yes, you, the 40-hour-a-week streamer, but not you, millionaire team owners. You've had enough. So what are you waiting for? Apply now on the Esports Awards website for your chance to take home $10,000.
And your winner.
This is an amazing and exciting opportunity. And joining us now to discuss hashtag For the Gamers Esports Awards Fund, we have the Managing Director of Esports Awards, Michael Ashford, and Founder, CEO of eFuse, Matthew Benson, and CSO, Patrick Klein. First of all, I know everyone's got to be in high spirits. This is a spotlight show after all, but Michael, coming to you first, what do you make of all the reveals we've had so far today?
I am very good, thank you, Gabriella, and great to be joining you on the show. I'll be honest, I tend to stay behind the camera where I can, but on this occasion I have braved being on the camera. So super excited to be talking about this topic and joining Matthew and Patrick today.
It is great that you don't have to brave the elements alone being here on camera. Two wonderful fellows by your side. First of all, Matthew, how are you doing today and with everything that is coming forth for the Esports Awards?
Yeah, it's an incredible day. We're super grateful to be here. There's a lot of incredible people involved, and we're just excited any day that we get to see Mike on camera.
Patrick, is that the highlight of your day as well, seeing Mike on camera?
100%. He's the man. I actually this is super exciting.
Well, in the end, Patrick, we brought you here for more than just to stare at Mike. So first things first, what are the major aims of this hashtag for the Gamers Esports Awards Fund?
Well, from day one, when we launched this company, we felt it was super important to give back to the community. And so we created the For the Gamers Fund to make sure that we could really put our money where our mouth was and impact the individuals, the youth, the amateur, anybody that has a career or wants a career in this industry. And so this fund is really about that. How can we help those that are on the edge, that are right there about to break through? And how can we give them the needed push so that they can really, truly make it and reach their goals and aspirations?
Absolutely, and I think jumping in from the Esports Awards side, it's such a great opportunity. We've gotten to watch eFuse launch and all of the incredible initiatives being undertaken since, and knew it was something we wanted to be a part of, and I think hopefully add value to long term with the platform. We are aware of the reach of the awards and the fact that young fans have started to aspire to win an award, and what we want to do now is help to build the pathways that define how they get onto the big stage when the time comes. And it's exciting because it is a real and true commitment to finding the next generation of the industry leaders that can go on to prosper and help to develop esports as a whole.
And I think what we're really excited about too is, in the way we view it, is life is made up of opportunities, right? And it takes one individual or one organization to invest to really make somebody's career and to impact them for the rest of their lives. And that's exactly what this fund and award is all about. We want to provide that opportunity for that life-changing experience and give the individual the opportunity to chase their career.
We always say impact is our North Star, and we like to partner with people that have that same value. So we're super excited to partner with the Esports Awards, and looking forward to that date where we can award this award and change someone's life.
Anyone that's a part of industry knows how difficult it can be, not just to start your career, but continue to build it as well. I'm curious as to what your experiences are, whether it comes to starting your own careers or maybe assisting others in doing the same.
Well, I think that was my experience actually back when I was graduating from undergrad at Ohio University here in Ohio. I didn't know how to get into the industry. And that's really where eFuse came about, is we didn't understand what is the pathway to chase this profession that I want to have in an industry that's growing and really blossoming. And that's really how eFuse kind of shaped over the course of time, is we want to be able to help individuals that were like myself find opportunities in the industry.
Everybody has a journey, everybody has a story, everybody has goals, and it's super important for us that we give them the ability to do that. And that's what this fund is all about. This is another way to throw gasoline on that fire, to say, hey, if this is something that you're passionate about, you can make this a profession. There is a spot for you in this industry.
Yeah, I think the great thing is everyone that's in the industry wants to see these opportunities taken advantage of, and they appreciate that authenticity. F. Dot, the other host of the show, we talked about our early days when we were both at high res, and then people like Golden Boy, who's up for one of the community awards here, hitting him up and saying, hey, do you want to do VOD review, things like that. These people are wanting to see individuals grow and wanting to see people come into the space as long as they have the passion to do it. And a fund like this seems to be very aligned with that.
Definitely. And I think the cool thing is once you get into this industry, it's very quickly apparent how welcoming everyone is and how friendly people are to give you the opportunities to go out there and do things. I think Alex Golden Boy Mendez, someone that you just mentioned, is someone who's very good at working with people and even helping us, obviously been the host for the last couple of years, in the different ways on how you get a better production quality, how you improve the broadcast, and so on in that sense. So I think that's the exciting thing, is once you do get through, it's a cliche, but it is a community, and there are people that will very quickly be the people that support you and help you to progress in your career, so that everyone continues to add value. And that's probably one of the significant factors as to why everyone talks about esports how they do, and certainly the growth trajectory that we're on.
We've touched on this a little bit already, but I want to get some clarification. Who exactly can benefit from a fund like this?
That's a great question. I think I can be a little bit over dramatic and say everyone can benefit from this other than the millionaire team owners, as you will have seen from the teaser trailer. So we really want this to be as all-encompassing as possible to see all of the diverse backgrounds everyone comes through. And I think the Esports Awards are a very good example of that, given that we now have 34 awards in total. And as you discussed earlier, the community are very good at pushing through new awards and defining different pathways with the likes of Creative Peace and Creative/Creative Team of the Year joining in for the award categories for this year. So for us, it's really, if you've got a team that you want to take to the next level, if you want to be someone's editor, if you want to be the streamer yourself, if you want to be a member of the on-air talent team for a major broadcast, this is a way of giving you a step up.
And we want to be able to guide them along that journey, but not inhibit them in doing that. So whether you're a streamer or a gamer just more broadly that needs to buy equipment to take their career to the next level, maybe it's traveling to tournaments on the weekends, having funding for that, or maybe even at the highest level, you want to go and you want to get an education around esports and gaming and using that money to fund your education. So there's a wide variety of ways in which this award and fund can be used. And I think that's the really exciting thing is we don't want to inhibit people. We want to empower them really to chase their profession or their passion really and turn it into a profession.
Speaking of that connection, this is a wonderful connection between Esports Awards and eFuse. Starting off with you, Mike, what excites you most about this partnership?
I think it's what it stands for and the right people being able to spearhead it to do the right things in the community. You've already heard from us that this is all encompassing. It's a pretty life-changing and substantial amount of money going towards it. And this is a fund. So you can rest assured that we are behind the scenes working as much as we can towards looking at who else can be a part of this fund, who can contribute to it, so that it's not just one life that's being changed. It's many lives this year in multiple different ways. So we're excited to see where that takes us as a collective team between eFuse and the Esports Awards.
We wanted to make sure that this wasn't a one and done experience, that this wasn't just this year's award, that this lives on for a long time. And we thought that that was really important. That's why we created the fund and not just an award. And so we understand that there's a lot of people in this industry that want to give back, streamers, influencers, companies. And we hope that they join us in this mission so that we're not just giving one of these out next year, we give multiple out, and we can see this compound and grow into something that's really special that people look forward to each and every year.
The fact is, eFuse is a great platform for anyone that's looking to plant their flagpole and just really allow their careers to grow. So for eFuse in general, Matt, what does the rest of 2020 have in store?
Yeah, so it's more opportunities. We're all about allowing individuals to come onto our site and really customize and showcase who they are through their portfolio. So basically their gaming resume of sorts. And in building that out on the site, we then allow you to access a number of opportunities. So opportunities like the Esports Awards fund, but also jobs. We have internships, we've got scholarships, we've got a wide range of opportunities. So we're going to see a lot more of that from eFuse. But on top of that, providing tools and resources and really a network of like-minded individuals to grow together and ultimately build a community of powerful gamers that love the industry and that want to bolster one another and ultimately grow into something great. So that's the rest of 2020 for us.
What an amazing opportunity that is now available to those aspiring for a career in esports. And if you wish to apply, make sure you go over to the website. I'm so excited to find out who walks away with this in 2020. But coming up after the break, we unveil the rest of the community finalists. Don't go anywhere.
Shine like gold.
Sometimes you just need a little wonderful in your life. So why not go to a place made for it? Arlington, Texas. It's a city made for fun and excitement and all the things you love to do. And even some things you didn't know you loved until you came here and found them. Come see for yourself why Arlington is a world of wonderful.
Yay, you didn't press the button, and you're joining us back here for the second spotlight show of the Esports Awards for some more community finalists. So let's get straight into it. Esports Content Creator of the Year, FDOT. When it comes to good content with that real breaking news feel, what qualifies as that for you?
I mean, it's hard to kind of put a definition on it, but you know it when you see it. You know what I mean? It's you can tell, especially as somebody that's done it before, but I think even uninitiated eyes, you can just see the amount of work that goes into something. It's not just an upload of your stream, right? There's like something that goes into it.
And a lot of work been put through by all of these finalists. So without further ado, your nominees for the Esports Content Creator of the Year are...
The finalists for Esports Content Creator of the Year, in association with the Esports Stadium Arlington, are Ashley Kang, Esports Talk, Musty, Hex, Nade Shot, Up Up Down Down.
Now that we know who our nominees are for Esports Content Creator of the Year, FDOT, first impressions.
This is a great list. You know, everybody on this list deserves to be on this list. Sometimes we have these conversations about, like, you know, who's streamer just uploading stream clips or not. No, I mean, this is good content coming from good people in the esports space. I like this one.
Yeah, my heart did start to flutter with a lot of these names. I mean, throughout all our nominations for the day, shout out to Shox and Frost Curran from the League of Legends scene, Golden Boy, a good friend of ours. But even here on the content creator list, some names we've heard before, but Ashley Kang, for instance, that's been nominated in multiple categories within the Esports Award, really bringing the LCK to a wider audience with the translations and everything she does through the content. You have varieties as well, Up, Up, Down, Down, for instance, FDOT being somebody who's returning onto the nomination list.
Yeah, it's really sweet to kind of see Up, Up, Down, Down here with respect to esports content. You know, Xavier Woods and those guys. So Up, Up, Down, Down is wrestlers from WWE, kind of like looking at gaming, and Austin Creed has always been into gaming. You know, I got a chance to talk to him years ago. He's a big old nerd, and recently they've kind of transitioned from gaming in general into more specific esports stuff. So it's cool to kind of see that liaison, that bridge between trads. Well, I guess wrestling is wrestling. It's its own world. But, you know, from non-endemic to our world is really sweet, you know. And Nade Shot, Hex, yeah, they're mainstays. Everybody on this list. I mean, I got to point out Ashley and Esports Talk right away. Ashley Kang, I mean, I straight up do not really watch that much. Korean League of Legends isn't my thing. I watch and I read her stuff. There's cool content being put out there, and that alone, you know, if you're able to bring somebody into your game, you're killing it. And Ashley Kang is doing that. And Esports Talk, I mean, that's the guy looking for my heart. I mean, he's just talking about the whole scene. That I like that stuff. Yeah, this is a great list.
There are some important distinctions to make when it comes to Esports Content Creator of the Year. For one, the fact that it is esports-centric content. What does it say about these nominees, the fact that they're able to bring these stories specific to the competitive side forward within these formats?
Yeah, I mean, that's what does it say? It says how passionate and how drilled down they are into what they want to do. You know, I am a content creator, right? And it's easier to make gaming content because a lot of people game. You go to a separate subdivision of people that take gaming and watch and play it competitively. And so being able to not be kind of romanced by the bigger picture, Ninja, no disrespect to the Valorant stuff, love you, dude, but like, people don't like to see that type of streamer be put up for the esports categories. And that's not what we're doing here. We're putting esports people here making esports content. I mean, that's what we're looking for. I'm an esports nerd. I love it.
Well, I gotta admit, I've been enjoying seeing Ninja enter the invitationals for Valorant and all that. A lot of crossover happening. But on the line of the important distinctions within this category, content creator is sometimes used as a general term, but there is a difference between content creator and streamer in this context. What do you believe the biggest difference is when it comes to curating this content?
Yeah, I think in general, content creator, I mean, that phrase, first of all, I hate it. It's sterile as it just, content creator means anything from the writer for a TV show to a musician. You are creating entertainment content. So, we got to drill down a little bit here. What this category is specifically is not somebody that just uploads their stream into the stratosphere. These are people that are particularly making high-brow content, whether it's heavily edited or otherwise. The Supreme Court once said, not about esports, but listen, I can't define it, but I know it when I see it, and that's kind of how I approach this one.
For everyone out in the audience, whatever your views are on content creation, you can go ahead and vote for Esports Content Creator of the Year. Do so at esportsawards.com. Now, it's time to move on to another award. We've got plenty of those here in 2020. Esports Mobile Game of the Year.
The finalists for Esports Mobile Game of the Year are PUBG Mobile, Clash Royale, Clash of Clans, Free Fire, Call of Duty Mobile, Arena of Valor, Brawl Stars, Mobile Legends.
F-Dot, I know you've dabbled in some of these games yourself. Initial thoughts on this list?
Initial thoughts on the list. This is what you want to see here. You've got kind of like the big boys outside of mobile coming here. Shouts to PUBG Mobile and COD. You've got kind of the mobile mainstays in what Clash of Clans and Clash Royale and Brawl Stars have been able to do. Shouts to those guys. And I mean Free Fire, Garena Free Fire rules the mobile market outside of America. So it's cool to see some international stuff. Like this is just a list.
It's a nice mix of those that are known as games on other platforms, those that exist solely within the mobile universe. Why do you think that the community was advocating so much for mobile gaming to be recognized as its own category?
I think because, simply put, it's there and it deserves it. I mean, a couple of years ago, maybe mobile was kind of just starting with respect to how legitimate or how deep the games are. I don't want to say legit, right? Like we look at mobile games from 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and it was struggling. Now, I mean, these are robust games on robust platforms. These phones are no joke. These games are no joke. There's tons of people that play them too. So this is, I understand. It deserves it.
And nowadays, my phone can do just as much, if not more, than my computer. So it is more viable than ever to really get to that pro level within the mobile gaming space. If you're looking at it from the perspective of someone that's aspiring to be a pro, what are some of the advantages of mobile gaming esports compared to some other scenes?
I mean, straight up the barrier of entry, right? One of the big things that we talk about on the development side of games, because I've worn that hat too, is accessibility. And League, millions of people play League because you can play it on a toaster, right? That it's designed with that in mind. But not every game is like that. I love Warzone, but it blows my computer up, and I've got a dope machine. Esports mobile games, I mean, the advantage, you want to be a pro in PUBG Mobile, take your phone out of your pocket. You already have the equipment. Now you can go deeper and get some of the cooler stuff, obviously, like any other hobby, but I mean, just the instant accessibility, I think is what's really exciting there. And also, talking from a business perspective, there are people waiting for mobile content. Go look at YouTube for mobile content creators here, and you're going to see names with hundreds of thousands of subs. It's an insane world.
The support that has surrounded the mobile world has been astounding. It was just years ago where if you tried to get something like a Vainglory tournament going on a LAN, the Wi-Fi would be an issue because who would ever want to do a tournament on a Wi-Fi?
Yo, okay, so PUBG Mobile, I have started playing a little bit. I have some friends that play PUBG and trying it on PUBG Mobile. I've had a blast with it, absolutely. But when it comes to mobile, listen, and I'm not on the panel. I love Brawl Stars. Brawl Stars is a unique game. It is a unique community. Like everything, that was my game that made me accept the mobile market. Sorry, I haven't always been a believer. But I casted a little bit of Brawl Stars. I saw how the devs treat their game. There's patch notes. They stream them, and the game is deep enough to be taken at a competitive level. The characters are interesting. There's frequent updates. The community's awesome. Shoutouts to OG and Connor and all those players. When I jumped into the Brawl Stars community, that's what solidified mobile gaming for me, and it opened my eyes to these other games and allowed me to try out PUBG Mobile and check out COD Mobile YouTube streams and stuff. And like I said, with love, Brawl Stars community, it crushes it. And I think that's kind of that was the mark for me that mobile gaming is the real deal. So, that's where I got to go.
If anyone is still on the fence of whether they should dive into mobile gaming, maybe just commit to a game the same way F.Dot has, and you could find yourself with just as much joy when he talks about Brawl Stars. But as far as this award category goes, it is a new one for us and a new opportunity once again for you all to vote. Do that at esportsaward.com before it's too late. You don't want to miss your chance. But now, we're going to move on to one of the most popular award categories there is, and that is Streamer of the Year.
The finalists for Streamer of the Year, in association with Arlington.org, are Dr. Lupo, Pokimane, Tim the Tatman, Summit 1G, Galls, XQC, Ebi, Courage JD, Mortal, Swag, Asmongold, Nick Merckx.
Lots of names to get through here, F.Dot, but many that rise excitement within the hearts of our audience.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, just mad names. This is actually the category that has the most names on it. So, yeah, this is the big one.
Streaming is always interesting in the sense that technically anyone can stream. It is as simple as clicking a button, but to do it effectively and at the level of these streamers takes so much dedication. What do you think are some of the components that a personality has to keep in mind to be so competitive within a category like this?
That's an interesting thing. Everybody, I can totally stream. I'm a full-time streamer, right? And it's a performance. You're not, for a lot of these people, not everybody plays a character like Future Man, so to speak, right? Even if you are just yourself, like Pokimane or Tim the Tatman, right? That's still a different performance than if you're just gaming. So first of all, the idea that you're just like beaming your gaming to the internet, that's good enough. If you're not Faker, it's not good enough. You've got to have the personality. You got to be fun to be around, relatable. I don't know. It's kind of like a mixture of like being a bartender, a guidance counselor, and an Uber driver all in one. It's a lot of je ne sais quoi, if you will. But are you just fun to hang out with? Is probably the first question.
And the idea of what it takes to be a streamer has evolved as this industry has grown, right? Maybe before it was just hit the camera on and try your best to be you. Now there's so many things you have to do on social platforms, trying to keep up with your audience, whether it's managing a Discord. I mean, anyone at home, try and put a camera on yourself for 12 hours during the day and see what kind of energy that takes from you. But with these streamers, you have a mixture, right? Some that specialize in games, some that are variety streamers. How does that affect the consistency of these entertainers when you're having to balance not just you as a performer, but the identity that you're creating around your community?
Every streamer wants to be variety streamer. That's how that works. And it's difficult to be variety streamer, because if you are a variety streamer, that means you are the, sometimes I use the term artist liberally and people don't like that so much, but listen, if people are watching your stream, no matter what game you're playing, if at all, just chatting, you are the artist. You are a performer, and people are watching you for you. You know, you can main a game and then switch off. Shouts to Summit recently just playing Max Payne over and over again. Right? Like, and that's tough to do with respect to like your bottom line and the business side of things. So being able to go from like game to game is telling as your ability as a personality, and also telling of your audience and how much they support you.
The audience that watches the Esports Awards, it's a mixture of those that perhaps are fans of all of these, maybe some that are looking to be streamers themselves. When it comes to new games that come through the horizon, Valorant, for instance, with the wave that has accompanied this one, what does that do for those that are looking to be the new superstars in this landscape and find their starts as streamers?
Valorant specifically, when new games come out, I think it's just another like platform for you to find your thing. You know, like when I stream games, it's majority talk content, right? Like that's what I do. And so not every game works for that sort of idea. If I'm playing, you know, tac shooters where I have to be focused and have all the noise out, no music, that doesn't really vibe with like my style. So if I didn't find a game like WoW or Smite to do my thing on, I would have not really had a platform to do that. Whereas when you look at these other players that are waiting for their platform, you know, if you're a Valorant person, somebody that can like do that's your platform and run with it. You know, we'll see like maybe racing games are the big 2021 hit, and somebody that has a lot of car knowledge can come in and be the big guy for that, right? That's new games just allow more people to find their platform and find their megaphone, if you will.
Speaking of people that come into the space, we have Ninja and I'm a Cutie Pie being past winners of this award, those native to the gaming sphere. Well, we've got some mainstream celebrities jumping in this too, right? You've got WWE's Paige and Ronda Rousey coming through. What does the inclusion of these mainstream celebrities within this space add to the overall elevation of the streamer experience?
Well, I mean, one, for streamers, this is nobody that's actually been in this industry has been knocking on mainstream doors being like, hey, accept me. We're just doing our own thing, right? But it is kind of neat to see Aubrey Huff from a Major League Baseball team show up and be like, hey, what's up, guys? I'm streaming like you. You know, it's sort of like, it's sort of an acknowledgement that what you're doing is kind of, you know, all right. And also for what it's worth, seeing some of the celebrities kind of come into this and be like, woof. Wiz Khalifa was like, yo man, streaming is tough, respect to it. So like, you know, there's also a little bit of like tip of the hat to like, listen, a lot of people told you that like rapping isn't difficult, and you know it is, right? So a lot of people come through and say the same thing about stream, and kind of seeing the respect from other artists is kind of interesting. Like I said, nobody was demanding respect. Who cares? We're in our own lane doing our own thing, but it's nice when you get it. And I think we're seeing that.
And for everyone that puts the hours in on stream, it typically means a lot of hours put in behind the scenes as well. Whoever ends up walking away with this category will be very, very excited about it. And don't forget, you in the audience have your chance to have a say in who that is. Go ahead and vote at esportsawards.com. It's official. Voting for the Community Awards is now live. So go on, rush over to esportsawards.com, cast your vote. It really is as simple as that.
Easy clap. Yeah, just go to the site, get it done. I mean, this is what it's about. You guys have a voice. Let us know who you want to see win. Like I said, one of my favorite times of the year, and I got to chill with Gabriella. So this was awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate getting to catch up with you here on the Esports Award broadcast, but nonetheless, that is going to do it for us here in the Spotlight Show. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, keep it real, and until next time, good morning, afternoon, evening, and good night.
Shine like gold. Shine like gold.
Sometimes you just need a little wonderful in your life. So why not go to a place made for it? Arlington, Texas. It's a city made for fun and excitement and all the things you love to do. And even some things you didn't know you loved until you came here and found them. Come see for yourself why Arlington is a world of wonderful.